definitely Andy. Look, he's been to see Taylor Swift more times in concert than Chuck and I combined. I think it's a clear case that he's a bigger Taylor Swift. But then one day, in the middle of just talking about nothing, Andy said something. And I wanted him to tell the story of what he said to me that day. And then I'll tell you why it was such a big deal.
Why I decided to sit with you?
No. This is when you pointed your finger at me and said, you changed my life.
Well, you tell the story.
No.
You remember it better than I do.
All right, I'll tell. So, we just sitting at lunch, and I don't know what prompted him to say this, but in my memory, he like stuck his finger in my chest and said, "You changed my life." And I was like, "What?" And he said, "Now I remember that. What I don't remember is." As vividly as you certainly did on that day, was how it changed your life. I mean, I remember the gist of what you said, but at least on that day, in your memory, it was still really vivid. Something about coming here to work, coming here to get better. Otherwise, why come here, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. So basically, there's a couple of times Bob had said some stuff. Early on, when I first met Bob, he used to have a saying that he would say all the time, like, "Well, that's why we're here. We're here to get better. We're here to get better. We're here to get better." And it was something that just sort of always resonated in me after I kept hearing him say it, and it really, like, I took it to heart as well.
Because in the beginning, I mean, your attitude was in the ship club, right?
Still is. That's another story. But no, I mean, it was something that was his positive attitude. Just was always, it resonated with me, and it was a big influence on me for a while there. So thanks.
Yeah. So him telling me that made a huge impact on me. It takes a certain humility and vulnerability for a man to look at another man and say, "You changed my life." And when he did that, we became brothers in rehab. And then sometime in the next couple of weeks, I was just looking at Chuck, and again, we were just talking about nothing. I was looking at Chuck, and he's doing something with his hands, and they look so good, both of them. But I knew he had a weak hand. I couldn't tell which was his weak hand, and I said something about that. I said, "Don't you have a weak hand?" He said, Yeah, I'm always moving it though. I'm always at home. I'm always sitting down or watching TV or whatever. Like I want to get better. I want to get out of here." He said, And I thought, I'm usually pretty lazy at home, probably lazier than most of you. But I could do that. I've got these little squeeze balls at home, and I've never used them. I could go find one, and I could just, when I'm watching TV or whatever, I could do that. So I did. And my grip strength, assessment after assessment after assessment, has just been creeping up by the smallest bit. And then the next week, after I started squeezing that ball, it went through the roof. And it was amazing. So, Andy says I changed his life. And Chuck changed my life. But the thing is, we weren't trying to do that. None of us saw ourselves as, the motivators who were going to come in and change people's lives or anything like that. We were just, when Andy was telling me about what I had said to him, I had sitting there, I had no memory of it at all. That's how little it meant to me. Or how, I wasn't trying to do it on purpose. So here's what I learned from those experiences that I want to share with you is that we here are a resource for each other. Yes, we have the therapists, and they're huge, but you know, you need somebody to talk to who knows what you're going through, right? And only the other patients here, or even the therapists don't know. And
They have a pretty good idea, but they don't live it.
Yeah.
You guys don't live it like we do. It's a little bit different, so.
And what I also realized is that most of us are not taking advantage of each other. I certainly wasn't when I got here. It's been said once or twice already. When I first got here at lunchtime, I'd sit by myself, stick a nose in the book, and then fall asleep. And, you know, at the end of lunch, some therapist would have to come wake me up.
Those Bob's table.
And then, yeah, and then there was the day where Andy came over and said, hey, you want to join us for lunch? Him and Chuck and his mom or his dad, whoever was with him that day. And thank God I said, okay, sure. And then I sat with them every time they were there. And then these things started to happen. And I realized, man, I need to, when they're not here, I should be sitting and talking with other people. So some of you were the unexpected recipients of my coming over and say, hey, mind if I join you? And kind of pushing my way into your table. I'm gonna stick to my script here. So anyway, Andy, Chuck, Junior, AZ, Myra's over there, Seamus, who, if you haven't met Seamus, he's got the best Irish accent, because he grew up there and still travels out quite a bit. Just talking to somebody with an Irish accent is great. These folks are my rehab family. So I want to challenge all of you that I'm leaving behind. You folks need to sit with each other at lunchtime, not like you are now, okay? You're not going to have profound, life-changing experiences with everybody or every day, but if you don't create an opportunity, you'll never have it, okay? So at lunchtime, get your phones, check your messages, and then put the damn things away. All right, like I tell my students at school. I know more so now than ever why my students are addicted to their phones. Because their parents are addicted to their phones, and they're setting the example. So, change it. All right. Especially, oh, I thought Riley was here. Okay, thank you. Want to ask you to encourage AZ here, and some of you know Riley's here, but you know what? He likes to eat lunch by himself, and that's okay. They're not even 20 years old, Riley and AZ. I maybe have 20 years left in my life. So the rehabbing that I'm doing is going to benefit me for about another 20 years. The rehab that they get is going to benefit them for about another 60. 60 years worth of benefit to whatever they get done here. So please encourage them to take advantage also of their time here. Take a family with you, okay? You will not regret it. You won't regret it. Thank you for indulging me. I brought yellow cake and cinnamons over there. Here's the deal. There's not a single plate with a single piece and a single fork set up over there. All the plates are double. There's 2 pieces of cake and there's 2 forks on the plate. You can go get one, but then you have to, if you go pick one up, you got to go offer one to somebody else. I want you sitting with somebody, okay? Or you can sort of, wait, keep your eye on somebody else who goes up to get one, and then maybe go up to them and say, can I help you with that other piece? Okay? I sure hope there's enough for all of you. Patients first, and then therapists.
Dude.
Yeah.